Alrighty then, welcome to another edition of Metallist Math. We're going to continue on. This will be our third installment in the GED math practice. So let's go ahead and get to that. We've got questions 11 through 15 today. Let's get going. All right, so it says, given the standard form into slope-intercept form. Okay, so here's the code word when they say slope-intercept form. Here's what that means. Slope-intercept form means solve for y. Okay? So it says, what is the slope of the line? So when you solve for y, this is that y equals mx plus b stuff. M means slope. I have no freaking idea why, but it does. So the slope is the number in front of the x. Okay? So that's the number in front of the x. Now, how do we figure that out? Well, we solve for y. So what we want to do is we want to bring this guy to the other side. And we do that simply by switching the sign on the term. So instead of being positive 4x, he's now negative 4x. Now he's not here over anymore. Okay? So if we just need the slope, we don't really need to even worry about the 9. So then your next step is to go ahead and divide by minus 3 on both sides. Okay? So we got two negatives. Two negatives gives you a positive, and we have 4 over 3, so that'd be our guy right there. Okay? So solve for y, and if they just ask you for the slope, it's just basically the number in front of the x. Okay? All right, moving on. All right, so the following shows, this is a bar chart, shows profits and losses for a small business over a 6-month period. It says, what was the business making a net profit or loss over the 6-month period, and how much is it? Okay, so loss is below the line and profit is above the line. So obviously they made a profit. These two guys are out. Okay, so how much? All right, well, the next thing we look at says this is in thousands of dollars. Okay, now notice here we've got 1, 2, 3 hashes sort of below the line. So it means we can just cancel them out with this guy because they're positive. Positive and negative, that all cancels out. So to figure this out, then we've got 10,000 here. We've got 6,000 here, so that's going to be 16, and then we got another 8, that's going to be 24. And since this is in thousands of dollars, our answer is $24,000. All right. Next up. Okay, it says, in the week that ended June 19th, crude oil inventory decreased by 3.8 million barrels. It says, now if the inventory was 353.9 million barrels in the week that followed, it says, what was the crude inventory before the decline? So basically all you're going to do is add this guy and this guy, because this guy got taken away. This is the new number, so the old number just means add the 3.8 million. Okay, so if we do that, look at here and we say, okay, so it's got to be something a little bigger than 353. That's our guy. I mean, feel free to add it together. That's fine. But that's basically the answer you got. And usually with these problems, the answers are far enough apart that you can often eyeball it without having to do the calculations. You can say, well, yeah, it's got to be that guy. All right, so let's check out another one here. Okay, so this says solve. All right, so obviously we're solving for y. So again, same idea. I've got minus 2y. If I bring him over here, he becomes plus 2y, and this guy goes away. Okay, so then I've got 24 equals 6y. So this is a lot like a problem we did in an earlier session. So we've got variables on one side, we've got numbers on the other side, so we just divide by the number in front of the variable. So 24 divided by 6 is 4. So there's our guy. All right, one more. So it says, Alan is hiking a 70-mile-long trail. And it says, after a few days, his distance from the trail's beginning is 4 times as far as he is from the trail's end. What is the distance Alan still has to hike? Okay, so what this is saying here, we're at 0. Here we're at 70. Okay. So it's 4 times as much here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 as it is here. Okay, my drawing's a little off. But the point of the story is he's gone 4 of these out of 5, right? Okay. So how many does he have left? Well, he has 1/5 to go. So if you multiply by 1/5, that's the same as dividing 70 by 5. You take a calculator, 70 divided by 5 is in fact 14. And there's our guy. All right, well, once again, I appreciate you listening, and we will continue to do these. We'll finish up this next time, and we'll thank you for watching, and we'll see you then.